Hi, this is Bill Ratner. I'm the voice of Flint on G.I. Joe, and this is Knowing is Half the Podcast, which is actually an appropriation of the original saying, knowing is half the battle, which was used in a number of public service announcements that have now been burlesqued on YouTube by a number of individuals, and I don't think there's a copyright issue at all. Have a good day.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe.
And welcome back to your favorite G.I. Joe podcast show. A little extra pep in the step of this one. I'm going to promise this out the gate.
I don't even understand why people still listen to you. We just had a 30-minute conversation about American Gods that was so
really
off base.
It was more of a lecture of you guys at me.
Guys, ears. For context, Ray does not understand TV shows
at
unless
all.
They are cartoons.
Yeah,
made for 7-year-olds, not adult cartoons. I'm sure he would get very confused by BoJack Horseman as well.
I love me some BoJack Horseman, and not once does anyone assume the identity of anybody else.
Ray, do you
I can be okay with
understand
that.
He is a talking horse?
I have come to that conclusion.
Or do you think he has been a man in a horse suit this whole time?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I'm reevaluating some things.
Ray will often come to the table with crazy ideas of what he thinks happened in TV shows.
He's like, hey, did you guys get this one episode? And then he'll explain what he thinks happened, and my God, it is not even in the ballpark.
I'll be honest, it feels right to me. It's real to me, damn it. It's real to me.
I mean, if it's not dampening your enjoyment, then I guess go for it, but you're going to be very... No wonder you were confused by Legion, because it's like you couldn't get on board from episode 1, and your confusion just kept compounding and compounding.
I was confused by Legion because they made poor choices narratively and did poor jobs of justifying those choices.
One of the best shows on television for
you guys are just... I will never agree with you on this. Maybe if season 2 is good.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is not the Legion or American Gods podcast.
Let's see if you understood this episode of G.I. Joe.
Here's the deal, probably not.
This is the
last... Did you guys
last...
see the end when Destro became Cobra Commander? And by the way, who are you people?
Yeah, it's I did feel like the sex scene between Cobra Commander and Destro was moving, and I liked the enormous penis.
Yeah,
the
but
giant animated
Ray
penis.
doesn't believe that penises can be that big.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Well, guys, it was clearly fake. That's all I'm trying to say. Destro's penis in this episode, clearly a prosthetic.
Ray thinks that any penis larger than 2 inches is fake.
Well, guys, I've only got so much to compare it to. That's all.
I'm Robert Clark Chan.
I'm Gina Ippolito.
I'm excited that you said your name correctly. It felt natural.
Threw me for a loop, and I almost did a bit where I said I'm Gina Clark Ippolito.
Oh right. He actually is his actual name.
It wasn't even that you got it right; it's that you got it right effortlessly. I think this is the first time you didn't have to think about it or anything.
He wrote it on his hand.
Did you realize I've had like an hour and a half to figure it out? To practice it.
Ray,
you guys got here an hour and a half ago.
Is this what you do when you're waiting for us to arrive? You just look in the mirror and be like, Robert Clark Chan. Robert Clark Chan. Robert Clark Chan.
Now you just summoned me. I'm already here, and you summoned me.
But
it
now
feels
he can
weird.
never go away.
Gina, could you feel the ground shake when I started doing that? That was crazy.
But he will kill one of your enemies for you.
Oh my God, finally.
I feel like you should choose the writer of every TV show ever because you clearly hate them.
I just, I don't like some of their choices. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. Guys, we're talking about an episode 5. This is the last original, and not counting the G.I. Joe movie. Like, this is the last one that we haven't done yet.
We have to, as we go on, we remember.
What is that?
All the times we spent together.
Wait, is this like at the Oscars with the dead people, and it shows in memoriam?
No, it's like at graduation when you
Boys
graduate.
to Men song or something?
God, how old are you guys? Look up graduation songs of maybe 1998 to like 2005 or something.
Graduation songs of 1998 to 2005. Let's see.
As we go on, I can't remember.
Every single graduation song from 1990 to 2016.
This is wildly
This is a legit BuzzFeed article. I don't.
Nope.
This is kind of creepy.
Guys, remember that one time when we read all the flavors of What was it? Pocky online? What did we read?
Yeah, it was Pocky.
No, it was something else.
Wasn't it Pocky?
Was it Pocky?
What the hell? Okay, you know what? I'm legitimately going to do this. From 1995 to 2003, did you say?
She said 98 to 2003.
98 to 2003. Okay.
Yeah.
I stopped at 95 because apparently the Friends theme song is I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts.
By the way, it's Vitamin C, Friends Forever. Is it on that list?
We're not there yet. We're not there
I'm
yet.
just saying that's what I was
1998, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day.
I was going to say that was actually, I believe, mine.
Was that 98?
Yeah.
That was later.
I thought it was mine. Maybe I'm wrong.
Very strange. Closing Time was that year as well, and they called it a runner-up. I feel like Closing Time is like one of the all-time.
Oh yeah.
Great,
I think they're.
You know that song's about giving birth.
Yes, I'm aware.
I feel like both songs are on an equal pinnacle for me as far as like relevance of the era in this way.
1999, Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen by Baz Luhrmann. Remember that?
I don't even know that
song. Oh, the talkie one.
Yeah,
the
it's like, and
one.
I just want you to know, like, always wear
that.
sunscreen.
That was by Baz Luhrmann? What?
Yeah.
Boss Rutan, the MMA fighter?
Wait, what?
Baz Luhrmann,
He was the voice?
guy who made
Yeah, I know who he is.
Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge.
That's his voice? Seems like more of like a Lynch move.
If I could offer you,
of course, all good directors sound like this.
Time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead.
I don't know this song at all.
What?
Not even a little bit.
The race is long.
Wow, that's weird.
That one escaped me.
That is weird. Yeah, it was on the radio.
I didn't.
But also, you're calling it weird. I think it's weird that you don't know Vitamin C, Friends Forever.
We're not there yet. Calm down, Gina.
I also don't know that.
The year 2000. Graduation, Friends Forever by Vitamin C.
I knew. I said it. 1998 to 2003. It's in that window.
You were correct.
Year 2000.
I will say that I recognize that I have this gap because this has come up before, and people have talked about the Vitamin C song, Graduation. I was like, I have no idea.
The next one, In the Club by 50 Cent.
I know of it.
No, clearly this was not a good song for me to sing for our final episode. So I will sing.
Because we both.
In the arms of the
Oh God, is this? Oh God, oh no, Ray, we're gonna die. We're going to die. She's gonna murder us while singing this song.
She's gonna absorb our souls and assume our identities. You guys, just like American Gods,
just like every god in American Gods.
I really thought she was going to sing Christmas Shoes. To be fair, for the record, I assume that's where we were going with it.
That serves a different purpose.
The year 2001.
God damn it!
Here's to the Night by Eve 6.
What's that? Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry.
What's sad is I know Eve 6.
Wait, what?
That's fine.
What is that?
They're
one?
the Inside Out people.
What?
Eve 6 sang Inside Out, one of my favorite karaoke songs.
Here's.
Are you willing to be happy?
No.
Not to go through motion. Can't I stay?
No. I vomited into my mouth.
In hindsight, I don't hate
that
it
at all. I don't know what that is.
I don't recognize that either.
2002. Obviously, we're well past the years when any of us should have been graduated from college.
I graduated from wrestling school.
I wasn't graduated from college in 2002, yo.
Neither was I. I should have been graduated.
Oh, I get it.
But I
get
did
it.
not. 2002, No Such Thing by John Mayer. Anybody?
Your
I'm aware of
body
who
is
John Mayer is.
Yeah, it's Ed Sheeran. I only know that because of
That's
Game of
not Ed
Thrones.
Sheeran. Your body is a wonderland.
Oh,
is
that's Jack
totally
Johnson.
John Mayer.
I was going to say,
What?
Jan, you're just wrong about that.
No, Jack Johnson is Your Body is a Wonderland.
No, Your body is a wonderland is John Mayer.
It's John Mayer. Even I know that.
It's John Mayer.
I'm dumb, and I know that. Come on, Chan.
I'm batting way better.
Now it's
than
time for
you
me
guys
to be
out here.
disappointed in you.
What is this message? Because I don't know a John Mayer song?
That's all I got, Chan. I got to go with it.
Guys, we need to pick a song for our final for the final episode. One that we all know, one that is sad. One
also-
that implies that we're either graduating or dying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that song.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, I feel okay. That's fine.
I'm gonna run through the halls of my high school.
Yeah,
Take a big
what?
Duke in the toilet.
Leave an upper decker.
Is that how that
Pretty
song
sure
goes?
that's how that song goes. I wanna run through the halls of my high school.
2003, The Remedy, I Won't Worry by Jason Mraz.
Don't know.
Oh yeah, you do know it. You know
don't
it.
think I know
and
it.
it's the remedy. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Gina, it would. I think it would astound you musically how little I know.
No.
No. I don't. Sorry. You give me that look like,
You know this.
When it all amounts to nothing in the end.
I won't worry about.
No, I thought maybe it was going into a song I knew.
Okay,
but no.
yeah, no. I recognize that song. Barely.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry,
Sorry, guys.
It's on like adult contemporary channels.
So
or
what
something.
is our theme song?
I was going to go with Can You Take Me Higher?
Well, how is that a great?
We go
What
out in a
about-
super
what about-
churchy Creed song.
What if we just did like a really
No.
sad version of the theme song? Like if it was like we fight
What's-
for freedom.
What's the theme song to Get Out? Because we're getting out. So is that like a?
We're not.
Is it just the tink sound of a
Jan,
spoon on a teacup?
I am under the impression that as soon as we
Tink,
finish
tink.
this episode,
Tink,
that
tink.
door is going to
Tink,
seal
tink.
itself up. The window is
what?
going to seal itself
what?
up.
Oh, my goodness.
We will have served our purpose, and we will be entombed in here forever.
Here's the thing. Until I finally get up like the 40 or so episodes of the show that aren't online.
And I don't want to say that Chan
It's
has
not gonna-
currently 20 plus episodes waiting to be put up on the main feed.
Do I
You
really?
just said
You have
40.
23.
Did you give them to me, or do you just have them on the thumb drive that you said you were going to bring over and never did?
No, I sent those to you a while
Through
ago.
what?
Like a while. I don't even remember. I sent them to you a very long time ago, and you downloaded them. But maybe you
That
don't
doesn't
have them
sound right
anymore.
at all.
Here's the deal. I have them again. I can give them to you anytime because I went out there and I think it was 21 or 23 Know Your Joe and episodes. It's episodes 11 through, and some were two-parters because I think our first Buzz Dixon episode, maybe. But 11 through like 20, yeah. I've got them ready for the main feed for a while now.
Yeah, all right.
I just stopped harassing you about it because I was like, he'll do it when he feels like
Here's
it.
the thing:
that sounds about right.
this room is going to seal itself up, or we're going to walk out there, and then it will be back in the very first time we recorded.
It'll be
Like,
July
I'll be
4th,
like, hey guys,
2015.
and we will be Groundhog's Daying this entire podcast.
We literally walk out this door, and then there'll be a knock. The door will open, and then it'll be you, and you'll be like, "Hi, my name's Gina Ippolito."
Yeah.
Because she had never met either of us
She
before.
hadn't met me before. I met Gina literally, and guys, we'll go inside baseball. The first time I ever met Gina was literally 5 minutes before we sat down to record episode 4 of the Pyramid of Darkness.
Was it? Really?
That's the first time I ever met Gina.
Huh.
And literally, it's like, "Hi, Gina Ippolito. My name's Ray. This
Yeah.
is some things I've done. Maybe you've heard of." And you're like, "Nope." And then
I don't think you said that.
no, I think I said I'm involved with a show called Top Story Weekly, and you're like, "I've heard of that." Cool. Anyway, let's talk about G.I. Joe now. And that literally all the first things that of us experiencing each other is on that terribly recorded
Oh, wow.
episode of episode. So guys, you can go back and listen, and then it's right there for you.
Why would you do that?
No, that's the one you probably shouldn't
I'm
listen to.
ashamed of those. We have to go back and record them.
I mean, if you want to go back and redo the entire Pyramid of Darkness again with current knowledge.
What are you doing, Gina?
I'm playing the Academy Awards in memoriam song.
Jesus. Because we're all going to die?
This is sad for several reasons, but mainly because it's in Love Actually. This is our song, guys.
Oh, George.
Okay, turn that off.
Guys, let's talk about some G.I. Joe. That's been at least 20 minutes of nothing. Okay, I'm going to get to the episode because I have to. Did you realize that the Tron snakes were actually called code monsters?
I couldn't hear what they said. All right.
said
Rather, I
code
didn't bother
monsters.
to go back and hear what they said.
Wait,
but-
I have a question. Why doesn't, right off the bat, I can't believe we didn't touch on this earlier in previous episodes, but if the Joes have one part of the Weather Dominator, right?
Correct.
Why don't they destroy that one part of the Weather Dominator?
Because they want to dominate the weather?
That
'Cause
seems
it's awesome?
not okay to me.
Now that you mention it, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you get a part of a death ray, you're not like, oh, let's get those other parts of the death ray. We just want to study
you kidding
it.
me?
There could be positive repercussions of the G.I. Joe team owning the Weather Dominator.
I don't think they want to own it. I think it's a thing that they never touch on. I think that they had always planned on destroying it.
I mean, in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense.
But they were like, it needs to be assembled before we can destroy it.
that holds up.
Just destroy it. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. I just made this whole
Just blew my mind right there.
Mini series useless.
Well, let's continue forth anyway.
Sure.
So we get back to where the avalanche is happening. The Joe team, where Zartan tells them he wants the ransom and then tries to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they didn't just think of this right away. Lasers melt ice, Chan.
Do you know what happens when lasers melt ice? Turns into scalding hot water.
It goes away.
Scalding.
It evaporates.
Boiling water pouring on top of their heads.
Evaporates into the air.
Thousands of tons of it.
And disappears.
I want to eat a snow cone that's been cut by a laser.
You will be eating, but you will have a cup of boiling water.
Yeah, just throw some syrup in there.
Throw some boiling water
Hot boiling
on
syrup.
me.
I want to know
In the name of Joe's.
Has Lady J always had a diamond spear?
Yes.
Why not?
That is a thing that Lady J always has, yes. I can go to bat for this.
I want to know the science behind how many spears she can hold in there. Is it like Hawkeye, where she just like shoves it back in there and it rotates and it's like, here, we put this kind of head on it? Or is it like she always has something?
The answer is she always has them and has always had them forever and ever.
Groundhog's Day?
Are you familiar with Felix the cat?
The
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful cat?
The bag of many things? Where he can
Bag
just
of
reach
tricks,
in and
not bag of many things.
in the
You're thinking
Steve
of-
Jackson game tune, it's referred to as a power called
You're
the bag of
thinking of
many
Joseph's
things.
coat of many colors.
It works, but he always has the thing he needs in the moment because he reaches into his bag. So Lady J has a quiver of many things, and she reaches in, grabs always the one she needs in the moment.
I want to see, here's my pitch for
That's her
a G.I. Joe
superpower.
episode. All of them getting ready in the morning, and it's just 22 minutes of them like waking up and like showering and then getting dressed, and I want to see the scene where she's like, all right, I'm gonna bring diamond one because that always comes in handy. Should I bring exploding one? I'll bring one exploding one this time. Last time I brought 3, and it was too many exploding ones. All right,
Might get hungry. I should probably bring the turkey dinner
I'll
one.
bring spork.
Turkey dinner.
I'll bring spork one. I'll bring turkey dinner one. I'll bring the net one, but that's it. No more.
And
I
then
wanna
sure enough,
see-
that's the one she needed, the
Exactly.
EMP one.
Exactly.
I will say that if I were faced with a giant wall of ice,
Yes.
I would choose the hammer javelin and not the diamond cutter javelin because you don't need a diamond to cut ice. Ice can be chewed with your mouth.
I would just do this.
And then you draw like
And then draw
smiley
your-
faces
yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gina rules, ROOLZ.
And then it would just take me like a year
And
to
Gina
free
with a
those
J,
guys.
weirdly. I don't know why that is. Don't you know how you spell your own name, Gina? That's,
No.
I don't know. That's,
Names confuse me like TV shows confuse Ray.
So, you know what? Fair enough. Again, that holds up. So Zartan decides to go on. He has broadcasted to the G.I. Joe and the Cobra team his demands.
Yep.
And he's in Florida.
what were his demands again?
It was like a lot of money or something, wasn't it?
He's in the bayou. He's not just in Florida.
Yeah, he's in the Everglades.
He's in the like Cobra Commander's like to the bayou. And it's like that is
It's a very specific place.
yeah, like narrow it down, buddy.
I'm torn because I absolutely think at this point he should have just said how much money he wanted.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't specify. He's just like, pay my price. Cool. What's your price, dude?
Well, he may have already put that on the table.
But on
I
the
think
other,
it's a negotiating tactic.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's just that they don't want to say like $1 million.
They don't wanna
and then
date it?
30 years later,
yeah.
it's like,
I think
yeah, for a
originally,
third of a weather dominator.
didn't Zartan say like $30 million? Wasn't that his original
I
deal?
don't
That still
recall
holds up.
anything like that.
Here's
Good.
the thing. I think it's a negotiating tactic. Like when you go in for a job and they're like, "What's your rate?" and you're like, "What's your rate, motherfucker?
What are you offering?
I'm not. Yeah,
Biatch.
exactly. Like I know better than this. I'm not gonna tell you my day rate.
You know what my rate is? $1 million. Let's negotiate.
Yeah, exactly. I know
I mean,
better than that. I think.
thank you.
I think they're like, "All right, we'll pay it. What is it?" And he's like, "You tell me."
You're like exposure.
Yeah. A free meal, copy, and credit. That's what they're offering Zartan.
But what exactly is Zartan's plan? Because, I mean, did Zartan not know that both Cobra and G.I. Joe know where he lives and could trace his location? Like, he seems surprised by this.
It's all a trap.
I thought this is what he wanted the whole time was for them to come. But
it absolutely wasn't
not.
because all he had was a bunch of freaking clown cars with lasers
I don't
in
know.
it.
I thought that clown car was pretty dope.
I'm pretty sure that at this,
I did like the clown car.
in this era, tracking technology was not that great.
But in the G.I. Joe world, it seems very common.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think also this is one of the first episodes.
You're right.
So it was just sort of like, they're much better at it, and and he got caught out, which is fine. I thought about that and I was like, all right, I'll allow that.
But didn't your first idea was just like, oh, this is part of Zartan's plan to know they're going to come after him.
I thought that they were going to go there, and there was just going to be like a walkie-talkie tied to a tree
That's what it should have
in
been.
the bayou in Louisiana, and he was going to be in Spain.
It could have been, but then I think they ran out of time in the episode. So instead we have 3 minutes at most in the amusement park.
Yeah, I will say that it feels definitely like they wanted to have this set piece of like the carnival.
Oh yeah, I could have spent the whole episode
off.
there. I could have spent an entire episode in booby-trapped carnival land.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, this is probably where we should have spent like 10 minutes of episode 4.
Yeah.
You're right? Like, I don't know, because it feels very... Once we get there, it's like, oh, this is a really cool set piece that we set up. Clearly, this was where we were going in the story. And then we get there, and it's like, laser tent, and we're done.
There was a roller coaster, sir.
And there was a roller coaster. I thought that was an ingenious use of a roller coaster.
Teacups with lasers. Like,
cool.
I would have liked... because this felt a little bit like the Joker. And it would have been nice if there were a few more things other than just, what if this thing had lasers? Well, wait... But what if this thing also had lasers? Oh, hold on. No, we're going to get crazy now. Cotton candy machine with lasers.
Chan, this is the job for highly trained evil Imagineers to come up with evil versions of rides.
Yes, absolutely.
But to be fair, though, all these ideas, because what else could we have? We could have toy soldiers that attack you.
Yeah.
We could have an entire fun house. These are all episodes that we would do later in this season 1.
Evil Imagineers cost a lot of money. He is not willing to hire evil Imagineers.
This is Zartan, not Cobra, so yes.
Yeah,
he doesn't have
he's paying them He probably said to them, like, hey, take a quick online course in Imagineering.
He probably went to Fiverr.
No, you know what he did?
Like,
he went to the Dreadnoks.
That's what
and
I'm
said,
saying.
what are you guys coming up with?
That's what I'm saying. He said to the Dreadnoks.
We put lasers on this. We put lasers on that. What if we had a tent? We raised the tent. Lasers. You know what, guys? Just fucking do it. That's
By the way, if I was buying cotton candy and there was a laser and it lasered me, I would be so mad.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'd be like, I'm calling the Better Business Bureau.
You should have. Hopefully, you would learn your lesson though, because cotton candy is always awful, no matter how good it looks.
Oh,
disagree.
sir. The first 3 bites of cotton candy are a delight.
Yes.
You let it melt in your mouth
sticky.
until it becomes that hard piece of grossness, and then you eat the next piece.
Yeah.
Cotton
Agree.
candy's a delight.
You're getting cotton candy in the wrong place. You need to get like the new.
You need to put it in your butt.
Cotton candy.
Yeah.
It's the same everywhere.
No, it does not. There are places that. This is what I thought about snow cones until very recently. I'm not a huge snow cone fan.
I'm not either.
Because I feel like, I'm just chewing on ice.
Are you talking about Hawaiian shaved ice?
ice?
Are you ready to
But
take
like
there are
snow
these
cones,
dudes
they put
on
like
the
that-
IMDb boat that it was literally like they scooped up fluffy, powdery, freshly fallen snow.
Okay.
Because I was like, I don't want this. And someone was like, no, try it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've had snow cones before. And they were like, trust me on this. And then I got a snow cone every day I was on that boat.
I've had the Snoopy machine. You just turn the crank of Snoopy's doghouse and you get a disappointing snow cone.
It's not Italian ice, and it's not snow. It's not like a snow cone ice.
Hawaiian shaved ice.
I think
maybe
is
what
that
you're
what?
talking
No,
about.
you're thinking of Italian ice. I think.
Gina, I
clearly
know
is
the
not.
difference between Hawaii and Italy. I was in Hawaii,
No, but I'm
and they
saying-
were not selling
I'm
Italian
saying
ice.
They call. Like,
you mean gelato.
I've seen Hawaiian shave ice and been like.
Oh, you mean drumsticks? You mean the ice cream drumsticks?
also-
You're referring to Choco Tacos right
in
now.
Pennsylvania, they call it water ice. That's it's like a regional thing. They call it by different names in different places. In New Jersey, it's Italian ice. In Pennsylvania, it's water ice. I think Hawaiian shave ice is something different than what I'm talking about.
Well, Hawaiian shaved ice is a wonder and a delight.
Maybe it is. Let me see.
Well, here we go. Chan, we're going to move forward while Gina looks up Italian ice. Because I have a question about this arena of sport thing.
Oh,
What's
please.
the science? No, first off, okay. So
If you ask me the science behind these code monsters, I'm going to fling my phone at your head.
I had a different
I
science-based
do not want to
question.
talk about these
Oh,
things.
Yes, I was wrong. Chan is right. This is exactly what I was talking
delicious.
about. It's
pretty good.
It's like snow.
My question's twofold. One, we've established that everything that the code monsters or the Tron snakes bites, like, disintegrates. So when it bites Roadblock, and then it just carries him away.
No, it bites a table at some point.
And it evaporates.
Does
it just like, and it just like goes out.
I think it needs time to. Okay, here's my theory. I will say the science on this one. So it needs time to fully assimilate what the object is.
Okay.
Into its own, like, code. So the more complex an item, the longer it takes to transcode it.
I would argue that Roadblock is not more complex than the table.
You know, he's a gourmet chef, but he's also an ass kicker. Complicated.
It's not no.
Okay, well, how about the science between the two antennas being pulled together to create a short circuit?
That checks
now,
out.
why would you keep the antennas in the actual arena itself if they're
Just
that
in
damaging?
case a Joe needs to radio out for help?
No,
Correct.
they need to be close, but not so close.
They've already had one antenna mistake from the previous miniseries. Here's the second one, and it's just, come on, guys,
fine
figure it
with
out.
the antenna being there, and I'm fine with it creating a short circuit if they get too close. Unfortunately, Honda Lou had to grab the second antenna with her legs, wrap it around so that it would connect up with the first one. She should have been fried to a motherfucking crisp.
I was weirded out by the fact that they sent her. I get that she's the lightest, but you're basically trusting a woman that, like, that would be like if I wandered onto. No. It would be like if I wandered. Well, yes, but it would be like if I wandered onto a military base and then they were like, "Hey, civilian, do this complex bit of, like, aerobics and tumbling."
But to be fair, you might be the only one that fits in the air ducts.
That's true.
She's not just
always
a civilian. She is named after a Japanese automobile.
Thank you. I guess my other thought was, like, why not send Snake Eyes? Like, yes, he might weigh a little bit more, but
send
he's
the
a ninja.
You know what? I'm not going to cast aspersions or anything, but Snake Eyes kind of got them chicken legs. And if I were to bet on a leg wrestling match between him and Honda Lou,
Interesting.
I'm taking the
You think that her
sedan
thighs
every
could
time.
crack a walnut?
Oh yeah,
Break
no
a watermelon?
doubt, no doubt. You want me to look up some videos of women crushing watermelons with their legs?
I've seen them all. Okay, so moving forward right here. So now we have the big, like, amusement park scene. So Cobra has decided to drop all their troops in the middle of the amusement park. Because they're Cobra and they don't always have great plans. So they're just like, go in, full frontal. It's literally Zartan and 3 dudes.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
You know, yeah. And so G.I. Joe, for whatever reason, while Cobra is, like, literally, Destro is shooting down the parking lot, which I thought was a little bit strange. That's the target he chooses, is the parking lot outside the amusement park. You could try blowing out the tents or something, but you better want to shoot the laser core, maybe. I don't know. But Ripcord and Breaker, G.I. Joe team drops in 2 guys and it's just like, have fun. And it's Ripcord and Breaker.
Yeah.
Did you see where they're dropping them into? The local power station.
Yes.
Which they blow up because obviously nobody in that area needs electricity. You know, in the bayou where people die of heat stroke unless they have air conditioning.
Yeah, but this is the abandoned part of the bayou, clearly.
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
If they have a power station there, it's servicing more than a theme park that has been closed down. If there weren't people around there would not be a power station.
I mean, let's be honest. What could those people's quality of life possibly be?
You're saying they're better off dead? Is this eugenics Gina coming out right now?
I mean, swamp people, honestly, I kind of have to side with her on this one.
Oh, my God.
I feel a little bad, but not,
Guys,
so bad that I would actually advocate for their health or welfare.
When did I become the humane one on this team? This feels... Wow. All right, I'm just going to get away from that. Storm Shadow breaks into the G.I. Joe headquarters to steal the piece. Like, to Gina's point earlier, doy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that this was part of Zartan's plan, though. He's just like, if I sell my piece, then all you either got to do is make a new one or steal the one from the other people.
Absolutely.
Wait, did we already skip over Cobra Commander breaking crap again?
Guys, I did, and I apologize. Because I love this bit because they cut back to Cobra Commander at the console, which is still destroyed from the earlier scene of last episode.
Yeah, he keeps
I love the
crap.
callback. He finishes the call, and he's like, well, that call's done. Time to break this console, and he rips a chair out and smashes it again.
I feel like the next episode, the unseen episode between this one and the next one that we watched, is like him going to like anger management.
You think?
Yeah,
like, it doesn't really get any less angry.
But he doesn't break as much stuff. Or else he goes to one of those places where you can break plates. Like you can pay to break plates.
Like take a baseball bat to a TV.
Yeah,
or like a titmouse, what is that called? Like a smash cube or something like that.
Yeah, like...
They used to do it every year for their big Halloween party. And then I think they took it out like on
being
tour.
A production company. Or...
Yeah, they're the people that made Metalocalypse, 12 Ounce, a bunch of shows. And one of their things is they just have this room full of things that you can smash.
Yeah.
Put on like a catcher's mask and then start hitting things with baseball bats.
That's what happens when young people get too much money.
If
you wouldn't do it if you had the chance.
I'm not a breaker. I don't like breaking things.
Yeah, I'm not a huge breaker either, but you might do it and then feel a weight has been lifted off of you.
I don't think so. Whenever I break things all the time, and I always feel bad about it.
But by accident. This is different. You would be given permission. Maybe you would do it for like an hour and you would come out and you would be a fucking genius.
I would hit one thing and I'd be like, what'd that thing do to me?
You know who is a breaker? That motherfucker blowing up that power station, killing all them swamp people.
Fair enough. Yeah, Breaker. His name is Breaker.
His name is literally Breaker.
It is literally Breaker.
Wait, also, these guys that are guarding this thing that Snake Eyes, or not,
Storm Shadow.
Zap and Short Fuse.
Whoever they are, these idiots. One of them is like, you hear anything? And it's like, are you asking him if he heard anything through his helmet in the pouring rain?
Yeah. Because every G.I. Joe member can hear everything else. We've established that.
I don't know if you guys have ever played a sport in the rain that it requires a helmet. You can hear nothing but that rain on that helmet.
Interesting.
You
just looked at me and Chan and be like, you guys play sports.
I've played some full contact shuffleboard.
Clearly the most athletic in this room.
Nah, I can't fight it.
No.
I'm just saying.
I used to be an athlete.
I'm just saying, if you're looking to steal a portion of a weather dominator, you send in the guy who can climb on lasers.
Yeah.
Climb right up on
I was confused by
the
this.
light. And
is it inside a glass case?
There is no glass case. The lasers are there, but there is no glass case. That's what I got out of it.
No,
but there's glass at the top. You're right, because he cuts the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think he's climbing on glass, because at first I thought he was climbing on the lasers, and I was like, no way. But then when they
then what the hell are the lasers for?
To protect the glass case?
In case the glass case breaks, some of it will fall into the lasers.
I guess it's like, if someone comes in here and tries to rob us, they hit the glass case first, but then they still can't get in.
How about the Mission Impossible drop? Now we see where John Woo stole it from, or whoever directed Mission Impossible 1.
Sounds probably like John Woo.
Because that's exactly the thing where he drops down, and I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh, that's that thing from that movie that came way later.
Definitely.
The next scene in G.I. Joe is them releasing a lot of white doves in slow motion.
Oh my gosh. and then Storm Shadow pulls out
John
2
Woo
guns.
and
then forms a Christ position as he shoots people. Yeah, I'm into it. I love John Woo, just for the record.
Also, was the ADR on this portion super weird?
It was a little effed up, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Short Fuse, he also doesn't hear things, and he says, I didn't hear it again.
To me, this whole thing was like, what are they? You can only hear rain right now. Don't pretend that you can hear each other.
This is what I like about it, because we cut to them, and it's him being like, you hear that? Because I didn't hear it, and it makes me nervous. Cut away. Cut back to them. Hey, you guys didn't hear that because I didn't hear it again. And then the next time we see them, they're walking into the room where they kept the device, and he's still talking about, I don't know, call it intuition. And I imagine he never stopped talking that entire time. And we're just doing...
Well, no, because all the way there, they're like, bitch, are you just saying that so you can get in for the rain? It's like, no. Seriously, it's intuition. Trust me on this one. I'm feeling it. Like, man, we all don't like being out in the rain. Don't you be an asshole and just like bail on us. No, I'm going in too. You tell me that you go in. You're going to fucking go sit down, microwave some burritos and shit. I ain't having that. You do guard duty or we all do guard duty.
He pauses mid burrito and he's like, No, I wasn't. I wasn't doing that at all.
But guys, while we're here,
I really like the fact that Storm Shadow does not gas them until they notice him.
Yeah. Smart.
Like he could have just gassed them like immediately right off the bat and been like, I don't want to deal with this. But he was like, I want to see if I can do this shit.
Yeah.
Also, while we're on the point, That's not how shurikens work. Shurikens are tiny little metal things that do not have, I don't know, say 80 square feet of sleeping gas inside them.
Okay, Chan. One time, for a baby shower that I threw that involved a baby ninja.
Did you gas people at a baby shower?
No, but
you throw shurikens at them?
I made a bunch of ninja stars out of construction paper. It was dope as hell. I highly recommend looking up how to make them. Make the 2 colored ones. I highly recommend red and black.
I think I did that when I was in elementary school.
It's so fun. It's so fun. But you could probably put a tiny, tiny canister of gas in the center of those construction paper ones. So he probably had construction paper ones in this episode.
Oh, what's up now, Chan?
He went home. He did some crafts.
No arts, though, just crafts.
Yeah. Did you just look up how to make them?
I got to concede the point.
The argument was too strong.
Yeah, I mean,
seriously, go home tonight and make one. They actually hurt too. If you throw them at a pregnant woman, they will hurt her.
Well, if you throw anything hard enough,
Gina,
it'll hurt.
you are not invited to the baby shower. Just so you know.
I'm just saying, I put them out everywhere. If some got thrown, it wasn't my fault.
Did you throw them, Gina?
I wanted to test them.
Goodness.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
The Cobra invaders are attacking. G.I. Joe forces hit back while they move their secret recon satellite to safety. But blasting down from Devil's Mountain, Cobra's gonna hijack it. Here come the reinforcements. Your kid controls the action with G.I. Joe High Adventure Trucking. Now, Cobra's desperate. They'll ram, squeeze to safety. Headquarters are secure now, so move her on back. G.I. Joe High Adventure Trucking for your kids. By Tyco, of course.
Now, back to G.I. Joe.
So this is the next scene coming up. This is the big battle at the amusement park. The one that just kind of like guns come out from everywhere. Cobra they call it an ambush. And I'm like, not really. It's not really an ambush because the cars roll around a while before they open fire. You could have shot them.
I did put what a waste of an amusement park.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, you're right. If
cute.
the Joker had been in there, everything would have been. They would have been freaking eating corn dogs that would turn them into crazy people.
Yes, all of the above.
But I like that this is Destro versus Zartan. Mm-hmm. Like, that was my favorite part of this, other than the roller coaster. That we finally see them.
We'll see it later, but they're pretty much at odds with each other the whole time because Destro is the number 2, and Cobra Commander disrespects Destro, and then really bends over for Zartan a lot.
Shit.
Yeah,
I just mean, like, I want to see who's going to outsmart whose crew in this.
Well, if you have dreadnoughts involved, I already know the answer to that question.
We just figured out whose cruise. They
immediately get one over on him, though.
Oh, they do. So we cut back to Breaker now blows the fuse, dooming millions to die of heat stroke, according to Robert Chan. Robert Clark Chan.
Thank you.
And Zart, I love that they use that they're at the top in their control center. They take an elevator to the top to escape the Joe team, who's now breaking in. I like that it takes 3 dreadnoughts to carry it, like walking together. They take the elevator up, they put it in a car of a roller coaster, and then they ride the roller coaster all the way down.
They don't strap it in or anything, or pull down the bar or anything. They
Why
just
would you?
Leave it there.
Why would you? It's heavy. It's centrifugal force.
It's just a roller coaster.
That's how centrifugal force works.
People normally can just hang out in a roller coaster without being strapped in, and they're just fine.
You're just sitting in a chair with nothing to hold you.
I refuse to be strapped in. I like the danger.
You know what I like? Flying through the air at Six Flags. But then they get to the bottom of the roller coaster, the ride stops. Nobody is really following where they're going. This is actually kind of a cool use of the roller coaster because then they get out. Now it takes 2 dreadnoughts to put it in the back of the lamprey, and then Zartan tries to get away. The dreadnoughts speed off, and I'm like, good plan. If it wasn't for Destro grabbing Zartan by the scruff of the neck and pulling him up and capturing him.
Yeah.
But Destro let himself get ambushed by those idiots. Like, even before this.
Yeah.
Like, he let himself, like, their tiny cars, like their little cars with the lasers, like, ambushed him. He was like, what do I do? He comes back, but they points to them.
But what do we know about Destro as a military strategist, right?
He's not good.
He's shit at it.
Yeah.
He's really bad. Like every time he starts getting too high and mighty, right? Cobra Commander puts him in charge of a military mission, and Destro fucks it up. Remember, he drove those guys through the minefield at that one point and blew up all. And nobody thought that was a good idea, but he just isn't good at military strategy.
Yeah, that's true.
Our cat
Go on.
claws the nice couch.
Yeah.
We try and make her stop. And here's the thing. If I'm around and she starts clawing and I whip my head around real quick, she knows that she's doing something wrong and will bolt off. My wife, when she claws on the... we have a squirt bottle.
Okay.
This is the deterrent to...
So what happens when your wife claws on the couch? Is this where we're going with this story?
When my wife is on the couch and the cat claws, she looks around at her and the cat stops. Claw's still on the couch. Just looks at her like, hey. She will then get the squirt bottle and sometimes she will run away. But what I'm saying here is that the cat is not doing it because she needs something to claw on.
Right.
She claws on the shitty chair, which is fine. We don't have a problem with that. We've got a scratching post, which she doesn't use because she's a fucking cat. Obviously, we spend $80 on a thing. She's going to go like, no, I'm not going to touch that piece of shit. The only reason she claws on this couch is to get the attention of my wife.
Yes.
Correct.
This usually ends up with her being pet and, because she's an adorable little kitten.
Yeah.
Zartan does not have a good plan here. He doesn't really think he's going to get the money. He doesn't have a good plan for when they show up, and his leaving is real slow. He could have bolted like a mofo.
He's the last one in, yeah.
Sauntered, and he got into the vehicle, and he was going to turn it on, maybe let it idle a little bit, because you don't want to just start the engine and just go, because it's going to eventually crack the engine. So he's going to turn it on and let it just warm up, and then he's going to, kind of slowly put it into low gear and kind of let it go out, and then
next thing you know, yank!
Well, Destro, what? I'm so sorry. I'm giving myself up, and you'll be fine with that because I'm giving you back the laser core.
So what you're saying is Zartan wants to be pet by Destro.
Yes.
Like real soft, heavy
100%. Zartan just wants the attention that Destro's not giving him, like any recalcitrant child.
If these
or
were
kitten.
Game of Thrones rules, he would have his fingers chopped off.
Sure.
I'm surprised nothing happens.
He would be Sir
guys,
Zarvos.
It's not that nothing happens. We'll get there for the severe punishment, because I love that moment so much. We cut back to Cobra Temple. And do you have a quote for me here, Chan? We haven't had a ton of them in this episode, but Roadblock explaining what it's like at the Cobra Temple. He has one quote in particular that really struck me as being an interesting metaphor.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I should say simile.
I actually like this one.
This place has more twists than a pretzel factory with the bends.
That's a little strange. Like, that's a weird... I get what they're going for, but, like, the bends has nothing to do with actual bending.
Have you ever taken a pretzel down to, like, say, 20 atmospheres underwater?
And then abruptly taken it back
and
up?
And popped it right back up?
She is giving me a very judgy look when you asked me that question.
She is, and I was
she was just like,
frankly.
have you, Ray? No, Gene, I haven't.
If you haven't,
I don't know why this
shut your fuckhole, man.
This is what you're judging me for.
First of all,
that look was very upsetting. Oh my goodness.
That look was me thinking about a picture I saw online today of pretzels that were like
very disappointing pretzels.
Oh, that was Gina's hungry look is what it was.
Yes.
Do you have any pretzels, Ray?
Yes.
I'm not asking if you've done. Do you have pretzels? I'm hungry.
I literally was like, this is the second time today I have wanted pretzels, like soft pretzels.
Was the first time when you were watching the episode?
No, it was when someone, I can't remember who it was. It's a friend on Facebook that was like, oh, did you think I wasn't going to stop for a pretzel at this airport? And it was like individually sealed, delicious looking pretzels.
Those were great. No, that was piercing into my soul, and I'm just like, am I supposed to feel bad about this random hypothetical that Chan is throwing at me right now?
She's looking like a cartoon in her head. You've turned into a giant steaming pretzel, well, like holding a mustard bottle and just like squirting it on yourself. Like, hey, Gina, squirt, squirt, squirt.
Here's what I will say: if you were that terrified by my hungry face, never cross me.
No, Gina, that's already well on my list of things for a long time now.
Good.
Don't end up on the list. Has always been
Don't end up
goal.
on the grocery list.
The grocery list.
I picture Gina like Arya Stark being like, eggs, butter, cheese, ham, eggs, butter.
Tiny brie bites from Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Well, that happened. So G.I. Joe escapes through the sewers because that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, because Tyrion showed him.
And at this moment, Duke suddenly remembers, hey, I've had a homing device this entire time. We should probably plant it somewhere.
Also, wasn't the last episode when he had a homing device in his ring?
In his ring, yes.
Come on now.
Like, if Duke's always carrying a homing device, Cobra Commander, stop goddamn capturing Duke.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, fucking frisking him at some point.
Maybe
That's not a small homing device.
Come up with like a different Deus Ex Machina at some point before being like...
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to follow it, though. But yeah, Duke's been captured since literally 5 minutes of episode 1 of this miniseries. It takes until 5 minutes to 10 minutes to go with episode 5 that he's suddenly like, hey guys, did I mention I had a homing device this entire time?
You know what I would have done if I was in that writer's room? I would be like, hey guys, why, like, we need, like, why didn't he have it before? And they'd be like, I don't know. And I'd be like, well, maybe it's like something painful. Like, maybe it's been in his butt. And he needs to, like, reach up there and get it, but he hasn't had the free time. He hasn't had the alone time. It's kind of uncomfortable to get it out. And they would have been like, okay, yeah, let's put that in this children's cartoon.
This would be Christopher Walken's watch from Pulp Fiction, basically.
I'm just saying, give me some reason why he hasn't gotten it out before. And if it's that it's been in his butt, I buy it.
He ate a condom with a homing device inside.
And he's like, all right, look, I have this homing device. It's going to take a day to pass. Get me some salt water.
Forgot to turn it on before I ate it. I've tried poking myself. It's just not working. You know what? It holds up. This is maybe my favorite scene of the entire episode is when Destro brings Zartan back triumphantly with the piece of the device. And he says, we must suffer the price of failure. And Cobra Commander is just so overjoyed that he now has all 3 pieces of the Weather Dominator again. Do you just have the quote for me? Because I just love this moment so much.
This is not joy. This is 2 parents being pitted against each other by their kid.
Zartan must be dealt with.
He has been. I forgive him. Stop sputtering like a wet toaster and get busy.
He's mad at Destro.
Yeah, this is literally like when you're divorced and you like send your kid and they're like, do you know what our daughter did? She ate 8 bags of heroin and then went across the border and pooped them out. And then it's like, you need to discipline her. And it's like, cool parent.
Yeah, because what I love about this is like Cobra Commander has smashed 2 consoles. Literally, he wasn't even angry at the time. The second time was the launching of the attack, and he's like, "Gotta smash the console now." Like he's the angriest person ever. So when it comes down to legit betrayal to his face, like he had to launch a mission to get this thing back from Zartan. But he is such a fucking suck up to Zartan at this point. He wants to be so cool in his eyes that he gets to the point it's like, I forgive you.
By the way, this piece of this
I love him so much.
Weather Dominator is literally just the carousel part of a slideshow machine.
Yeah.
Like it's not even.
It's a fancy Viewmaster.
Yeah, like they put together this thing and they're like, all right, let's get a metal cube. Let's get that part of this thing.
A pointy thing?
And then like an umbrella, a metal umbrella. And that's how you make I just gave you guys out there the recipe for a Weather Dominator.
And that's why you listen to the show. Because we give you real world knowledge that you can use.
To take over the world, just like Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Holds up. Roadblock finds the vines. I love the callback to the vines. Can I say that? Like, very, very cool.
Oh, God damn it. I will tell you this. This was the single biggest missed opportunity.
Oh, really?
I thought it was going to tie up so perfectly. When I saw him grab the vines, I was like, this is amazing. They've been plotting this entire thing so that at the end, Destro get up with that Weather Dominator and like, now we have to use it to defend ourselves. Let's fuck up these Joes. Here they come with the planes. We're going to turn on the blizzards. We're going to turn on the heat. We're going to turn on the lightning. We're going to make it rain like a motherfucking monsoon Roadblock throws out the vines, and they are defeated not just by each of their individual whatever you call them, death devices, but by the combination of them trying to use them both and defeating them with their own
would have been good.
devices.
That would have been
I
better.
could see that, but he wasn't doing weather where he was. He was doing weather where they were.
Right around it. But if he started like a fucking tornado or a huge storm right in front of the base, some water's going to get over there, and that's all you need.
Or you do the thing where you like throw a pill down on the ground, and then you're like, "Say goodbye, motherfucker," and then you shoot holes in the ceiling.
Yep, that
like in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah, and then let the rain in.
The fire hose was a real disappointment.
By the way,
I see that.
Why in most other scenes are these vines clearly trying to kill people, but in this one they're like, "Oh, we'll detain them for you." Also,
specifically detaining, not even just like running all over the place.
And I have the answer. Roadblock had some words for them.
But
before he threw them.
also, why can't they see Zartan? Do these things have eyes?
Apparently.
That's a whole level of freaky that I'm not prepared for.
Zartan, when he goes invisible, stops generating heat.
False.
That is not a thing
I
that
just
he does.
decided.
False.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
So
I
you're
just assume
telling
they
me
can't
that
see him.
Zartan could go up against Predator.
Yeah.
They're both invisible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Predator wouldn't be able to see him.
Nope.
Apparently.
Nope.
Well, we should have had him fight them in Predator 2.
Next up on Movie Fights, Predator versus Zartan.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the callback because it's just a thing that kind of ties the entire miniseries together. It was an issue in episodes 1 and 2. It's largely forgotten about. Brought back to be the ultimate undoing of the Weather Dominator was that Destro created too much nasty shit he couldn't control. And I did yes, there are other ways they could have done it, but I think at this point we're like a minute and a half before the end of the episode.
It was like 18 minutes in, they still didn't have all the pieces of the weather.
Yeah. So, so here we go. So, Destro shoots the Weather Dominator. And there's a moment where they show Gung Ho right when the weather starts getting terrible. And I swear to God, he starts talking, but no, you don't hear any words. And I think that was censorship because Gung Ho just looks at it, he goes, "Holy shit!" Because that's the look he's giving to the incoming weather that's about to hit him.
That's what he said in the script. Yeah. What's Shipwreck doing back in the backseat again with Lady J? Haven't they had enough time to fucking get him a separate goddamn plane?
Oh, he insists upon it now.
Yeah.
And Lady J is too polite because she doesn't get it yet.
That is...
She doesn't understand
she
his
thinks
game.
Oh, maybe he's just a little socially awkward. Oh, I know he always tries to talk to me after his improv shows, but I bet he's just socially awkward. That's just the way he is.
He touches me a lot, but he touches everybody a lot. So it's it's not abnormal that he would touch me extra. And yeah, he did, grab my boobs in that one scene, but I don't think he meant anything by it. Right?
He was just checking. He was checking for cervical cancer. That's why his fingers are out my vagina. He's just awkward about it.
It made sense in the narrative of the doctor's office that we were doing on stage that he would touch me there. So I could see why, the scene led him there. It's not like he just did it.
Is this going to end with Shipwreck moving back to Minnesota and living in his aunt's basement?
Shipwreck will be banned from many comedy theaters. Oh, dear. We went there. There it is. Okay, so we have all the different weather. We have snow. We have lightning. We have bursts of some kind. Got a little murky there in the third beat.
There's a 20% chance of bursts today.
And I did enjoy that. G.I. Joe's here. Let's lower the temple.
What?
Cobra went to go lower the temple when the Weather Dominator stopped working from the vines.
Right.
They had a backup plan.
Oh, I see.
And then we had maybe the most physically improbable thing we've seen in all of G.I. Joe.
All caps in my notes I have, I don't think that's how planes fly. And I get that there's a lot of stretching of the laws of physics and whatnot, but man, this was not good.
How big must this temple be? Because it comes in at full speed, doesn't slow down.
Nope.
It shoots the control that lowers the temple.
The big old gear.
Then it goes straight up in the air and flies back around, and seemingly, even though the hole's been closed and we've seen the thing close, somehow at full
back
speed
up
it just sort of just disappears.
Yeah.
Like it achieves hyperspace and goes through time and space and ends up somewhere.
That all sounds correct.
It's going very, very fast. So this interior temple area must be tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of feet wide and long. And
it's miles wide.
Yeah. So, I mean, good job, architects, keeping that working.
I bet they still haven't gotten paid for their work either.
Oh, not if it's Cobra, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's some gold fang shillings. These are painted. These aren't even real gold. What's going on?
You can use them to purchase anything from our Cobra Life magazine. Oh, I'm listening.
I would do that. I bet it's like Sky Mall, but evil. Evil Sky Mall.
Oh my God,
made by evil Imagineers.
And it would create the reaction of, ooh. I mean, he's looking at products.
Yeah. We thought this whole time he was looking at like boobs or a titillating story, but I think he was looking at pet steps for your bed.
Oh, Cobra pet steps for your bed.
Yeah.
That you could, but they're evil, so you can press a button to make them go flat, so when your dog starts walking up, you can make him slide back down again.
I'm not on board with this.
That's what it is. It's evil. Come on.
I'm not on board.
Oh, Gina's off. Gina's off the train. Okay, so Cobra Commander gets captured again, and what's become a trope for the end of miniseries. That's well, he escapes in Pyramid of Darkness, but he does get captured in much the same way in the first two.
We have got to talk about their security, because how does he keep getting out of this?
Lawyers. He's got great lawyers.
Also, at this point, I would put a bullet in his brain.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, if I was like Lady J or someone, I would just be like, this is the 5th time we've caught him.
I think with Lady J, she would have pulled out a diamond-tipped javelin and just
and driven it into his head like...
yeah, and then just been like, he tripped. She
carved a little hole.
Nobody saw that,
right? I didn't have my body cam on.
No jury would convict me.
Yeah, it's true.
And then we get the cool Destro escapes by hang glider.
I love it.
And Zartan jumps on the back of the hang glider.
I love it.
I love that as well, because especially the way they've been fighting this entire episode, to have, because Destro can't do anything about it at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm also saving you, I guess.
Careening off into the sunset.
I just want to know, like, what are they going to talk about on that hang glider, like on that 15-minute hang glider ride?
I think it's just going to be a lot of silence.
Yeah.
A lot of angry silence. And just a lot of like, for fuck, God damn it.
I think at some point one of them is going to fart. And then the other one's going to be like, come on.
You know it's going to be Zartan who farts.
But Zartan's on top, so if he farted, it would... Well, maybe he aims his butt.
You realize they're on a glider, right? Farting on a glider, on a hang glider, traveling at speed.
If you're under the glider and you fart, it's getting caught.
But there's a whole physical barrier between you and the person on top, and you're going through the air.
I know, but I think that it's not the act of like, oh, this is going to be stinky. I think it's just like Zartan is going to fart. Dester's going to be like, oh, come on. He's like, we're in the open air. It doesn't matter. And he's like, it's just rude. It's rude. We don't know each other that well. Like, maybe I would do that with the Baroness, but...
I did appreciate the Baroness and Major Blood, like, bail immediately. Like, they know what's going on. They're on the outside forces, and we don't see them get captured.
No.
Because they're too goddamn smart.
Yeah. They're the smart ones.
Yeah. And then finally we get the inevitable, because this is like almost an exact retelling of what happened in the mass device, where Breaker's in charge of the controls, and he gets a couple right and then fucks one up. And then he responds with,
nobody's perfect. No, but we do okay.
Hey, kids.
Everybody laughing.
Embrace mediocrity, kids.
I want to see them at the like court martial where they're like accused of killing 800 civilians that they thought were like Cobra soldiers.
Can you see Breaker on the stand though, where after blowing up the power plant and being like accused, he's like, "Oh, that was Cobra."
No, I legitimately think it's that Duke and Flint are on the stand.
Oh my God.
And they're like, "How do you explain why so many civilians, many of them women and children, how they died gruesome, horrible deaths?" Well, nobody's perfect. But we do okay. Yeah.
And then the jury literally erupts into the wave simultaneously.
Oh, I was thinking, and then they're thrown into jail for the rest of their lives.
Oh, no.
And they're like, how did we get here?
They literally high five and freeze.
Yeah.
In the moment.
And then everyone's like, you're probably getting the death penalty when we go to sentencing.
No, I think the jury's on board. I think literally like just popcorn flies in the air with graduation caps for no good reason.
All right, I'm on board now. There's food.
Oh, see, there it is. And pretzels, just for you. There's
they
pretzels.
Throw pretzels in the air?
They throw pretzels in the air.
Ow! Why?
Well, they're soft pretzels.
Okay, good.
And that's the end of it, guys. That is the end of episode 5 of the Weather Dominator series. Was it the Revenge of Cobra?
That's the end of things for us. Now we have to put on our finest suits.
No, we're not putting on any suits.
We agreed.
I will never wear a suit ever again.
Oh my God. Well, to be fair, Chan, when we did start this over 2 years ago, Gina did make us sign those suicide pacts.
We agreed.
Is that what that
we
was?
just never thought it would actually
God damn
happen.
It. I knew I should have read the EULA every time.
Guys, we agreed.
Well, guys,
put on our finest
What is
suit.
this song?
It's been nice knowing you.
Just look up graduation.
It's time to put on our finest suits.
Oh, this is the vitamin C song. I gotcha.
And we're going to go to the mirror. We're going to straighten our ties. We're gonna fold our notebooks up for the last.
I don't want to have to die to a vitamin C song.
You agreed.
That's the worst.
You signed the contract.
The worst.
Got to read the fine print, Chan.
You agreed. Yeah.
All right, stop playing that because we're back next week.
Yeah, we'll be doing something else next week. Whether that's a different type of cartoon or a Series 2 G.I. Joe or redoing Pyramid of Darkness.
Be a different type of cartoon because then all our G.I. Joe fans are going to leave us.
I'd like to believe our G.I. Joe fans are still on board for our bonus episodes.
Our G.I. Joe fans left long ago.
That might also be the case.
There are only people who are subscribing to our very, very particular brand of comedy and interaction.
I feel like that brand is universal.
It's real small. It's razor thin, you guys.
I think at this point they're just waiting to hear us commit suicide.
Oh, maybe that's what they've been waiting for.
They have been promising this for
did you guys
so many
hear
episodes.
Those assholes on that G.I. Joe podcast finally killed themselves?
Yeah,
I'll listen to that.
I bet that this episode gets the most listens that we've ever had. And people are going to be disappointed that you guys did not go through.
Well, guys, the window is right there.
Yeah.
Looks like we made it after all.
Is that your graduation song?
Did you just combine "Looks like we made it" with "We're gonna make it after"?
That's my jump off a bridge suicide song.
I feel like this is why you get TV shows confused because you mix up what's like several different shows at once.
Do you know I expressed to you how many concussions I've had in my life?
Ooh, you should give your brain to science to study when you're dead.
They're not going to want it.
Ooh.
They will.
It's going to be too messed up.
They will.
It'll be smooth like a baby's bottom.
And that will do it for episode 5. Guys, tune in next week for something.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we're doing. We'll figure it out by then. We'll give you a post up by the weekend, maybe. Mm-hmm. And we'll take suggestions on Patreon. So real quick things to show. Patreon.com/knowingishalfthepodcast. Give us a few bucks. You could suggest a show and we'll do it. We'll do it on the air. We don't care.
Also, tweet us what you think we should be doing with our lives now.
Oh, yeah, please. What's next for us? If you could do that at the end of all the comedies of the 80s where there'd be the slideshow of what happened to each of us. If you guys are at home on Facebook and Twitter, if you could create a paragraph for each of us of what we do from this point forward now that mainline G.I. Joe is over.
It's like 30 seconds after the podcast was recorded.
There's the freeze frame.
Ray went outside, slipped on the concrete, hit his head, and now he thinks he's Imelda Marcos.
I do like shoes.
Yeah. 2 weeks after the podcast was recorded, Chan realized he hadn't seen Gina and Ray in 2 weeks, and he was okay with it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nothing lost, really.
Gina immediately bought every pretzel she could get her hands on. She is now in a pretzel-induced coma.
I say, sadly choked on one.
Yeah.
While driving home.
I mean, we all know that's how I'm going to go.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, guys, you can hit us at Facebook.com/knowingishalfthepodcast, on Twitter at G.I. Joe Podcast, or you can check out at Prez Serpentor. Boy, it's a very tumultuous White House going on right now with Serpentor in charge. Am I right, guys?
Did he? Is he the next place that Scaramucci's going to go?
I have a strong feeling that with that news breaking, there might be some information on that by the time you listen to this episode.
Yeah, great.
Serpentor might have tweeted from his toilet at 8 a.m. There's a very real opportunity for that.
Oh, God.
Serpentor and the Mooch.
I don't know that I can read this Twitter feed anymore now thinking of Ray on the toilet. Like, what's in the news? What's in the news?
It's not just Ray on the toilet. It's Ray in a full Serpentor costume on the toilet.
Oh, no, that I'm into.
I got to stay in character.
That'll be.
I mean, guys, Serpentor writes these tweets. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Of course, I'm just channeling this great artist, Serpentor. Oh, you get us up at G.I. Joe Podcast on Twitter. Individually, I am at Almighty Ray.
I'm at 999 RPM. What?
Jesus. This is the last episode. Gina, where are you on Twitter?
I'm
Don't even. Just give me another look.
At Butts.
I'm at butts.butts.
I'm on Twitter in my finest suit, waiting to end it all.
My goodness. That's good enough for me. Guys, thank you so much. I think we'll be back next week. If not, we're not.
Can we edit
Jesus
in?
Christ.
Can we edit in gunshot sound effects?
I won't do it.
So if no one's editing them, if you hear gunshots, they're real.
If no one's editing them, then it's just going to be sitting on this SD card forever.
The lost episode of Knowing Is Half the Podcast.
I would like to think that one of your wives would find it and publish it as our last hurrah.
It won't be mine.
I don't think either of them have any interest in continuing this particular legacy.
My wife would actually find the SD card with the episode on it, realize what it is, and she'd be like, "I'd rather remember him without this," and throw it away.
Burn it. She puts it in your coffin with you.
You can have this.
Yeah, you're cursed to listen to this final episode for all eternity.
I'd be down with that. Good night, everybody.